नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. I welcome everybody who are sitting in the two-way video conference, all the social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram. I welcome everyone. Just I'm scanning the screen. Please sit straight. Please sit straight. Okay. So we are now doing series 11, Bhagavad Gita Demystified. This is about the experience of formless form. We experiencing the formless form of Paramashiva. Whether we call Paramashiva, whether we call Sri Kṛṣṇa, whether we call Adi Narayana or Parashakti, everything is one and the same. Everything is one and the same. Hey, somebody is sending continuous messages. So this whole series is about, all of you know, 3 questions. Can we see divine? Can we experience divine? What qualifications do you need to experience the divine? And once you experience the divine, while you are experiencing the divine, what do we go through? That is this whole series is about that. Till now, he matured enough to receive Bhagavan's formless form. He requests Bhagavan, Sri Kṛṣṇa, to show his real form. Till now, Bhagavan and Arjuna had a conversation. Sanjaya, the right-hand person of the blind king Dhritarashtra, is narrating the conversation which happened between Kṛṣṇa and Arjuna. But now, Sri Kṛṣṇa is showing Arjuna his divine form. So, Arjuna is so full, ecstatic, that he could not speak. And Sri Kṛṣṇa, in his cosmic form, his voice is not audible to the earthly beings. So, we cannot hear any conversation between Arjuna and Sri Kṛṣṇa now. So, we are hearing to Sanjaya's narration and interpretation. Sanjaya said, "O king, having spoken thus, the great lord of yoga Hey, what is going on? What is... Hey, Kamal, are you operating my system or what? What is going on? I don't know. Suddenly something happened, guys. I think anything ultimate we start, this always happens. Right? So much disturbance, so much teething problems. Anyhow, accept that also as Bhagavan is giving us attention. That's why so much is happening, isn't it? Anyhow, here completely my system messed up my screen. I'm unable to. Just a moment, give me a moment. Something happened here. Oh God, what a... Today, Bhagavan decided to make you wait. What to do? It's not in my hands. Okay. So Sanjaya said, O king, having spoken thus, the great lord of yoga, Mahayogeshwara Hari Sri Krishna, showed to Arjuna his supreme cosmic form, infinite mouths and eyes with infinite wonderful sights, infinite divine ornaments with numerous divine weapons uplifted. Arjuna saw this universal form, wearing divine garlands and clothing, anointed all over with celestial fragrances, all wonderful, brilliantly resplendent, endless, with all pervading faces on all sides. So, he already described he describes here Arjuna sees an unlimited number of mouths, eyes, hands, and Arjuna sees 360 degrees vision in both horizontal and vertical dimensions. Yesterday I spoke about Swamiji's experience about 360 degrees vision, right? So same vision Arjuna was having. So he's seeing the whole universe, all the people on the battlefield, all of them were inside Kṛṣṇa as the universal consciousness. So there is no boundary to Sri Krishna's universal form. Now let us do the next verse. Om Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavedyugapadu Yadi Bhah Sadrushi Sasyat Bhasastasya Mahatmanah. This means if the splendor of 1,000 suns were to blaze all together in the sky, it would be like the splendor, effulgence of that great Supreme Lord. The next verse, Om Tatraikastham Jagat Kṛṣṇam Pravibhaktamane Katha Apasyadheva Devasya Sharire Pandavastadha. Means, there in the body or universal form of the God of gods, the Pandava then saw the whole universe resting in one place, while all its infinite expansions, divided into many, many thousands. The next verse, Om Tatha Sa Vismayanishto Hrishtharoma Dhananjayah Pranamya Sirasa Devam Kritanjalirabhashata. This means, then Dhananjaya, please understand, Arjuna is also called as Dhananjaya. Arjuna has 10 names. One of them is Dhananjaya. Then Dhananjaya, filled with wonder and astonishment, his hair standing on end, then bowed his head to the Supreme Lord and began to pray with joined palms. Please understand. Arjuna is able to see the Parabrahma Kṛṣṇa. And it is all beyond logic, beyond words, beyond all comprehension, beyond the mind. And understand, of all the people on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, only Arjuna had this great fortune to behold the cosmic vision of Sri Kṛṣṇa. Only he was granted the boon of divine vision to see the entire universe within Kṛṣṇa. Arjuna is able to see the whole, and at the same time, all the parts. Even the word hologram that we now so commonly use to describe the totality of something preserved in a fragment, it does not do justice to what Arjuna's having the vision of. In a hologram, one needs to make the effort to see the whole in the fragment. In this divine vision granted to Arjuna, the whole existed with the part, with no separation, no discontinuity. The whole was part and the part was whole. In the body of the Supreme Lord, please understand, wherever Arjuna is seeing, wherever Arjuna is looking at Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa in many forms, many shapes, many non-forms, many non-shapes. There are no words to describe what Arjuna is seeing. How can one describe what is beyond the mind? What is beyond the logic? What is beyond all comprehension? How can anyone describe? You can only experience. You can only experience. Please understand. Sanjaya is summarizing Arjuna's reaction to the divine form of Sri Kṛṣṇa in these last few verses. Arjuna is still silent. He's unable to speak. And it is Sanjaya who is describing what happened. The vision, see, understand, this particular vision, only Arjuna was granted. And the vision that Arjuna beheld enveloped him completely. He was in fact part of that vision too. Even Arjuna is existing in that form. Understand, Arjuna is able to see Arjuna also in this whole. And in addition, he was the experience of that vision as well. Arjuna and Kṛṣṇa grew up together from childhood. Sri Kṛṣṇa's sister Subhadra was Arjuna's wife, and they had a very deep relationship as friends. In this one moment, that relationship was redefined. Please understand, In most cases, the relationships are not absolute in time and space. They become mixed. In this particular instant, when Arjuna beheld the cosmic form of Sri Krishna, all thoughts of friendship disappeared. He became the typical dasa, servant. Understand? I think in the master and disciple workshop, which I gave previously, I've described about all the 6 bhavas, how a individual connects to the universal form. In that, amongst that, one bhava is dasa bhava, connecting to the universe as master, and we like dasa, servant. Hands trembling, hair on end, tears in his eyes. Guys, don't listen to this as one more session. Please understand. Sit straight, spine straight, neck straight. Experience this. We are supposed to experience this experience of Arjuna. Arjuna represents all of us. Hands trembling, hair on end, tears in his eyes, unable to comprehend what he was witnessing. Arjuna bowed down deep in front of his friend and started speaking in deep ecstasy. Understand? Arjuna was not afraid of Sri Krishna. What he now felt towards Sri Krishna did not arise from his mind. It was involuntary. It was intuitive. Naturally, when you are given a divine chakshu, trinetra, your intuition works, isn't it? You cannot make your hair stand on end, even if you try the whole night and day. Can you? Shall we try today? Making our hair stand on the end? I don't think so. We cannot. Ecstasy cannot be willed. Bliss cannot be willed. Arjuna is in adoration. He's in love. He's in awe. God, he's awed by whole thing. He realizes that he is in the presence of an energy that has no equal. Nothing he has ever experienced before comes close to this. His being opens while his mind rests. Understand here, mind rests, being opens. That is the essence. What do? Our body rests, but mind is all over the place, isn't it? Here, the point is, being opens and mind rests. In fact, Arjuna at this moment is beyond the 5 defined bhavas. 5 defined bhavas. Matrubhava, Dasa bhava, Sakha bhava, all these bhavas. Now, he is in the state of 6th bhava, which is Mahabhava. What is Mahabhava? Experiencing all the 5 bhavas at a time. Matrubhava, Dasa bhava, Vatsalya bhava. Vatsalya bhava is also Matrubhava. Madhura bhava, romance also. Romance means don't take it as the romance which we understand. It's not that regular romance what we call as romance. This is something very pure. We don't even know the spelling of romance as of now. Sakabhava. All these bhavas experiencing at a time. This state is called Mahabhava. So, Arjuna at this moment is beyond the five defined bhavas. He is in the state beyond the five bhavas. Now Arjuna starts speaking. Till now, Sanjaya described because Krishna and Arjuna were not having a conversation. They were only, Bhagavan was giving experience and Arjuna was taking the experience. But now, after certain time, now Arjuna starts speaking. Arjuna uvacha. Om pashyami devamstava deva dehe sarvamstadha bhuta vishesha samghan brahmanamisham kamalasanatham rushimscha sarvanuragamscha divyan. This means, oh dear God, I see all the gods assembled in your body and various other living beings too. I see Brahman, the Lord of creation, seated on the lotus, as well as Shiva and all the sages and celestial serpents. The next verse. Om Aneka Bahudara Vaktra Netram Pashyami Tvam Sarvatonantarupam Nam Tam Namadhyam Na Punastavadim Pashyami Vishweshwara Vishwarupa. This means, I see your infinite form on every side, with many arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes. Neither the end, nor the middle, nor the beginning do I see. O Vishweshwara, O Lord of the universe, O Vishwarupa, cosmic form. The next verse. Om Kiritinam Gadinam Chakrinam Chatejo Rasim Sarvato Deeptimantamam Pashyami Tvam Durnirikshyam Samantat Deeptanalarka Dyutimaprameyamam. This means, I see you with crown, club, and discus, a mass of radiance shining everywhere, difficult to look at, blazing all around like the burning fire and sun in infinite brilliance. The next verse. See, Arjuna is describing here what he's saying. Om Tvamaksharam Paramam Veditavyam Tvamasya Viswasya Param Nidhanam Tvamavyayah Shashvata Dharma Gopta Sanatanastvam Purusho Mato Me. This means, you are the imperishable, the supreme being worthy to be known. You are the great treasure house of this universe. You are the imperishable protector of the eternal order. I believe you are the eternal being. I'm scanning once more. Okay. What does this mean? See, as Arjuna is in the same consciousness as the Lord, this verse should actually start with Bhagavan Vacha. It should not be saying Arjuna Vacha, because Arjuna is not in earthly plane anymore. He's literally in the consciousness of Bhagavan now. That is why he's able to see all this in oneness, isn't it? Actually, they should say Bhagavan Vacha, meaning the Lord says. These statements, what Arjuna is speaking now, these statements are said to come from him for us to record. Understand? Why Arjuna is speaking? It's actually said that these statements are coming from him for us to record. These are such beautiful ways that he describes the form, whatever darshan is having. You may wonder why he does so. Please understand. He does so to inspire us to work, to achieve this form and this experience, to move in this path. Arjuna is showing us the way. He's showing the whole humanity the way. Understand? He says, "Oh Lord, I can see all the gods and deities in your body. I can see the special union of living entities. I can see Brahma seated on the lotus flower. I can see all the sages and divine serpents. O Vishveshwara, Lord of the universe, I see many arms, stomachs, faces, eyes, and your limitless form. O Vishwarupa, universal form, I cannot see your beginning, middle, or end. As a matter of fact, understand, all of you, hey, we are all third eye initiates, right? So we should cognize this very well. See, when you begin to see 360 degrees in both horizontal and vertical dimensions, there really is no beginning, middle, or end to see. It is a continuum, isn't it? It is like seeing one of these special movies on a circular screen. I'm sure if anybody on the screen had a Turiya experience, Turiyatida experience, you will know what I'm speaking about. If anybody had the experience, you can relate to it. It is like seeing one of these special movies on a circular screen. It is an infinite circle. The divine is an infinite circle with no beginning, no end, and therefore no middle. Without a beginning and an end, to talk about the middle makes no sense. We don't have time, otherwise I would have shared an experience here. Well, because already our session started late. Tomorrow, maybe tomorrow I'll share. Remind me, somebody, okay? Remind me how we, in 360 degrees, we see a circular screen. No beginning, middle, or end, okay? Then I'll share tomorrow because I don't want to forget. Only when the context comes, we remember these experiences. Otherwise, we forget, right? So I don't know tomorrow what context will come up. Please understand that divine is an infinite circle with no beginning, no end. So therefore, no middle either. The form is difficult to see in its sheer glowing radiance, spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable brightness of the sun. Yet, Arjuna sees this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, and discs means the chakra, the Vishnu chakra. He sees Kṛṣṇa holding the mace, wearing that Vishnu chakra. Arjuna says, Your magnificence is shining everywhere from all sides, and it's so difficult to see. You are blazing from all sides with the luster of the sun, limitless. Part of what Arjuna sees here is the traditional representation of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu is always depicted with his weapons of mace and the chakra, the gada and chakra, and wearing the jewel-studded crown. Vishnu is also depicted resting on the ocean of milk upon the giant serpent Adisesha, with Brahma rising from Vishnu's navel upon a lotus flower. So, here, what Arjuna is seeing, he sees is formless energy. Some of it is formless energy. He is perceiving radiance more powerful than 1,000 suns, blazing and dazzling. Impossible to look at, even with his newly endowed divine eye. Understand? In the battlefield itself, in that Kurukshetra itself, Bhagavan initiated Arjuna with the third eye. So it was newly endowed. So even with the third eye, it was getting impossible to look for Arjuna. What Arjuna sees is beyond any sensory perception, something that could be experienced in that moment in time, impossible to express. Now, suddenly, the scene changes in these verses. How? We will see. Om Anadimadhyantamanantaviryam Anantabahum Shashisuryanetram Pashyami Tvam Deeptahutasha Vaktram Swatejasa Vishwamidam Tapantam. This already I narrated. The next verse, Om Dyava Prudhivyorida Mantaram Hi Vyaptam Tvayaikena Disascha Sarvaha Drishtva Rupa Mugram Tavedam Lokatrayam Pravyadhitam Mahatman. This means this space between earth and the heavens, and everything is filled by you alone. O great being, having seen your wonderful and terrible form, the three worlds tremble with fear. The next verse. Amihitvam surasangha vishanti kechid bhita pramjalayo grunamti Swasti Chuktva Maharshi Siddha Sanghaha Stuvanti Tvam Stutibihi Pushkalabhihi. This means many celestials enter into you. Some praise you in fear with folded hands. Many great masters and sages hail and adore you. And next verse. Om Rudraditya Vasavo Yecha Sadhya Vishveshvinau Marutaschoshmapascha Gandharvayaksha Surasiddha Sangha Vikshante Tvam Bismitaschaiva Sarve. This means the Rudra, Aditya, Vasu, Sadhya, Vishwadeva, Ashwin, Marut, Usmapa, and a host of Gandharva, Yaksha, Asura, and Siddha are all looking at you in amazement. The next verse. Om Rupam Mahatte Bahuvaktranetra Mahabaho Bahubahu Rupadam Bahudaram Bahudamshtra Karalam Društva Lokah Pravayadhitastadhaham. This means, having seen your immeasurable form, with many mouths and eyes, with many arms, thighs and feet, with many stomachs and frightening tusks, O Mahabaho, mighty arm, the worlds are terrified, and so am I. The next verse. Om Nabah Sprusam Deeptamanekavarnam Vyattananam Deepta Vishalanetram Drishtva Hitvam Pravyadhitam Taratma Dhrutim Vindami Shamam Cha Vishnu. This means, seeing you, your form, touching the sky, flaming in many colors, mouths wide open, large fiery eyes, O Vishnu, I find neither courage nor peace. I am frightened. Such a wonderful scene, isn't it? Understand? Suddenly, the scene changes here. How? Arjuna is terrified. What he is seeing now is quite different from what he expected when he asked to see Sri Krishna's divine form. Understand? All of us, we always fit our master into a certain frame. But when we really see him, they will never fit into our frame. We will be terrified because we never expected it, isn't it? Hmm? Arjuna is terrified. Why? Because he's seeing something very different from what he expected. When he asked Krishna to show his divine form, he actually expected something else. Now Arjuna is incoherent. What he keeps saying is neither logical nor well thought out. What he sees, he reproduces to the best of his mental abilities. Arjuna is convinced, seeing the universal form of Sri Krishna, that what he sees is the supreme being, the Purusha, the imperishable, the very origin of all the eternal. Understand, Purusha does not mean male. Many people, they translate it as male. No. Purusha, the imperishable, the very origin of all, the eternal. That is what it means by Purusha. All the Sanskrit words have different layers of meaning. Please understand, just one word has 200 meanings, different meanings, according to the context. All Sanskrit words, according to the context, the same word's meaning changes. In this context, Purusha means the imperishable, the very origin of everything, the eternal, something which is eternal, which never gets perished. He says, you are without origin, middle, or end, with unlimited power. You spread throughout the heavens and through all other directions. O Supreme Soul, Paramatma, after having seen your wonderful form, all the worlds and the whole universe is trembling with fear. Naturally, obviously, won't it tremble? With all the inauthenticity and non-integrity we have, naturally will tremble. All the celestial beings are shuddering before this form and entering into this formless form, some of them afraid, offering prayers with folded hands, along with hosts of realized sages, praising this form in silent acceptance and wonderment. All the realized sages, they were praising this form in silent acceptance and wonderment. But some people afraid, offering prayers in folded hands. Understand, there is no other record so clear about the cosmic frequency of the universal form as in the Gita, the song of Krishna. Gita is the song of Krishna, isn't it? Superhero. God. After I started giving sessions of Bhagavad Gita, actually, I fell in love with Krishna so much. Always he is a wonder, but I never thought, what a strategist, what a yogi, isn't it? What a yogi. What a cosmic form. Real superhero. I just, in this description itself, I don't know. I can't speak further. I just, melt. That wonderment is happening to me now. What a hero. If you love, you should love such a hero, not anybody else, isn't it? Real Purusha, Purushottama. Beautiful. I think I am unable to speak in my bliss of him. Understand, only in Gita such a record is given about the cosmic frequency of the universal form. What Arjuna perceives is what is always present, but which he normally has no capabilities to see. See, always this is present, but he nor we don't have the normal capability to see. Now he's seeing Sri Krishna in all his manifestations, from the highest to the lowest frequency levels of energy, with nothing being filtered. But suddenly the form seems to change from the magnificent, comforting, and expanded form to one that is now disturbing. Understand? I just don't want to stop. The bliss is not stopping. I know it's over time, but what to do? These things are spontaneous, guys. This is not something like a prepared session and prepared class. I don't think any prepared session you'll be enjoying. That's the truth. Any prepared session, any calculated time, you will never enjoy. It will become a stereotype, monotonous, isn't it? Integrity with time is very important. But when we are doing actions in the normal level, but we are experiencing the universal form, here it is timeless, spaceless, anything less. Correct? Beyond logic. So how can we use our logic of time also, isn't it? So Gail is saying, please don't stop, ma. I think all 21-day workshop we are going to finish in one day. Oh God. Suddenly, the form seems to change from the magnificent, comforting, and expanded form to one that is disturbing now. It is still not clear to Arjuna what is happening to him, what is going on in front of him. He is unable to comprehend. He is unable to. I can see the state of Arjuna now, and it's like so. I feel like laughing. It's very joyful to see that state also. What a fortunate being he is. Hmm? He still doesn't understand what is going on, what is happening. But he can anticipate that something he is about to see is not going to be as pleasant as what he had seen so far. He's seen to a certain level and he enjoyed it. Now, suddenly, his intuition is telling him something. He can understand, he's anticipating that something which he is about to see now further is not going to be pleasant. What Arjuna sees disturbs him. So, what is disturbing him? Till now, we enjoyed the bliss. So, what is disturbing Arjuna? For his disturbance, what does Bhagavan answer? We will experience tomorrow. Okay, so let us look forward to what further Arjuna is seeing and experiencing. So let us also experience in tomorrow. So all of you, please be here. Please don't mind 10 minutes here and there because it's not in my hands. Even though I'm very much particular about integrity of time, I don't know what happens. It just happens. That's it. All my sessions are very spontaneous, including the session time is spontaneous. Because even though I give the time 5:45 p.m., I don't know what happens. Only when the right time comes, the session happens. So all of us will be waiting here. That's what. Okay. So please be spontaneous and welcoming and open mind. Then you will receive this formless form experience in a beautiful way. In a very beautiful way. I'm sure after this session, in your sleep, you are going to experience little more awareness than what you are having till today. Okay. In sleep also, the frequency of awareness increasing. The rest should become deeper. Awareness should become higher. That is when it is said that we are growing spiritually. So let us see what happens in your sleep tonight. Everybody look forward and share your experience tomorrow. Okay? Call all your friends and family and make sure everybody are getting enriched through these sessions. Thank you, everyone. I will pray to Lord Bhagavan Sri Kṛṣṇa and end this session. Next, we have unclutched meditation session. Yukta, please do the unclutched meditation session little shorter. Okay, just 32 minutes is enough, so that you're ending before 8:05 because we delayed the session. Don't take 1 hour time because we don't want to spoil other people's schedule. Okay, guys, see you. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanooramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti 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 Sarvam Sadguru Padarpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Everybody are having anxiety, more thoughts. Please, who needs healing, continue with the unclutched session in the same room. Okay, I'm disconnecting. Bye-bye, everyone. Looking forward for tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. I will come. Bye.
Recording stopped.
Bye-bye. Okay, assign and leave.
Let's start the unclenching session with Sadguru Vandanam. Om Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusam Tattvamasyaadhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Now I am
Swamiji is initiating all of us into unclenching as a technique, as a meditation technique.
Sit in a relaxed
way.
You can sit in the chair.
You can sit in the chair or on the floor.
Be comfortable. That's all.
That's all.
Is okay.
Anything is okay.
Be comfortable.
Be comfortable.
Sit in a relaxed way.
Sit in a relaxed way.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
And any thought rises in your inner space. Decide. You are not going to support the
You're
thought.
not going to support the thought.
You are not going to destroy the thought. You are not going to encourage the thought. You are not going to create a new thought without
creating, maintaining, and destroying.
Sit.
Understand.
When you don't do the job of Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, you become Parabrahma. When you don't do the job of creation, maintenance, and destruction, you become one with existence. Now, just sit. Sit in a relaxed way.
Sit in a relaxed way.
Close your eyes.
Unclench
from every thought. Don't miss a single thought. In your inner space. Don't be unconscious. Unclench from every thought. When thought rises in you,